Hey Mo,
Yeah?
why is there a tiny orange flamingo in the garden?
Um, that's not a flamingo. Wait, is that Derek?
Oh god, did he just get maced?
I think so. What happened?
Come on, we better give him a shower down before he gets too upset about this.
Yes. Let's get the hose.
Night Aldrin's Keeper presents Alone Against the Frost, the Call of Cthulhu's solitary adventure in the Canadian wilds. By Glenn Rahman, with Gavin Inglis. You, Dr. Lucy C. Niddleman, have long been fascinated by the prehistory of North America, particularly the big woods of the north. The Canadian wilderness remains as unexplored as the Amazon basin, and hunters, trappers, and gold seekers tell hell-raising stories of people in the area. Of course, they also tell tales of terrifying demons and other exotic fantasies. The time is right to bring a rigorous academic perspective to the big woods. The truth hidden there is doubtless more fascinating than any traveller's yarn. For over a year you have petitioned your department to finance a modest summer exploration trip to Canada's Northwest Territories. Now, at last, your funding has been approved, and you make preparations to leave at the end of the spring semester. Many of your graduate students are eager to go, but you can only take 3. You have chosen to explore the valley of North Hanayan. In the local dialect, it means the River of Magic Power. The yarn spinners have worked overtime on the legends of this River of Magic Power. It is said to be haunted by invisible presences. A part of the valley where a party of prospectors was found beheaded is still known as Headsman's Glen. Your small expedition takes the train to north-central Canada and then boards a chartered launch to Great Slave Lake and down the Mackenzie to Fort Macdonald, where an outpost of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police represents the sole power of civilization amongst many thousands of square miles of mountain, lakes, taiga, and swamp. Fort Macdonald is a trading post of trappers and natives. The best route into the valley is an upstream one by canoe, following the west branch of the Mackenzie to the mouth of the tributary you seek. A single bark canoe of excellent make has been reserved for you, as well as all the basic gear your summer trip requires. Officials tell you that the guides are reluctant to venture anywhere near the area. The local people have always shunned the region, and most white men who dare to trespass upon the River of Magic Power never return. Still, you locate a tough professional guide named Charlie Foxtail. She narrows her eyes upon hearing your destination, but is persuaded by the high wages you offer. Finally, all is ready to go. After a few days on the west branch of the Mackenzie, the stuffy corridors of Miskatonic University seem very far away. Sun stipples the water from the glare of midday to the gentle burn of sunset. Caribou gaze at you from the shore. Ahead, a heron drags an unfortunate stickleback from the shallows. It would feel like a vacation if it weren't for the relentless demand of each paddle. Every day makes your students more adept at keeping time with you and Charlie. Your supply of gasoline is limited, so you run the outboard motor as seldom as possible. Sun and wind has granted your main student, Bernard, the outdoor complexion he so desires. You locate the tributary one evening just as the light begins to fail. Next day you launch into the mystic river, the Ram Mountains looming in the distance through a heat haze. At this latitude, the summer nights are so short that darkness gives the waterways no time to cool. Norman wipes sweat from the back of his head. The river is rougher than the West Branch. Its floodplain is obstructed by sandbars, hills of driftwood, shingle islands, and forests of dead trees rooted into the mud. The current points all of them downstream, like arrows warning you to turn back. Your honour student Sylvia turns to your guide. Charlie, do your people live in this area? Charlie grunts and watches the water. For a moment it seems she will not answer, and then she looks to Sylvia. At one time, now only outcasts. We will avoid them. Sylvia frowns. Why are they? But Charlie raises a hand. From ahead, slowly building, you hear the roar of rushing water. This is the place of the splitting water, she says. Here the river is alive. Each day it makes itself anew.
Make a luck roll.
Oh, God. Rolls. Okay. 80.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a fail. Okay.
The river batters your craft from every side. No matter which way you turn, it gets worse. The canoe bucks like a saddled buffalo, bounding over sets of snagging rapids. You eye peaks and teeth that could tear the belly out of your craft.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, let's have a pilot boat.
What does that mean?
You do have it.
Do I?
You have 30%,
Oh, okay, let's go for
which
it.
is better than the base.
9. 9.
Oh,
Yay.
not quite an extreme,
Aww.
but it's good enough.
Your skill and party's earnest support saves the trip from an early disaster. Your group manages to maneuver the canoe out of the boil and cross over into another channel, where the passage proves much easier. The expedition spends the day working through a baffling network of waterways. Sometimes you are forced to back down impassable channels to find an easier way. Sometimes you blunder across the heads of powerful chutes and are swept along with them. At certain points, your party has to wade in waist-deep water, inching the craft along by hand. You pass labyrinths of wooded islands, fast water, and drift. Finally, you select a peaceful backwater in which to moor and make camp for the night.
Oh, well, this is an unusual one for us.
Yeah.
I just need you to make a 1d10 roll.
Okay. 7.
7. Okay.
Your first night along the river passes without mishap. You must now decide whether to press on to penetrate deep into the region, or to set a more leisurely pace, exploring as you go.
What are you going to do? Are you going to go fast, or are you going to take your time?
You know, I'm gonna take it nice and slow. I'm gonna take it nice and slow. I don't have to rush. It's not like there's a volcano somewhere.
A little back from the shore, the faint stench of sulphur wafts out to the mouth of a narrow canyon. You have read about the possible hot springs in the region. It is very tempting to formally discover them.
Now, of course, at this time, you're exploring somewhere that's never been explored properly before. You are the first academics into this region. This means if you go and explore this area, map it out, that sort of thing, you get to name it. You get to say, I found this, and you get all the important goodies that go with that. So the question is, do you want to stop and explore, or do you want to continue?
I don't think I'll be able to do this, but it's a question. Can I grab something and throw it to see if there's any danger? Because if there is danger, there's going to be a bigger sound than just throwing a stick or something.
Well, that really depends whether you want to stop to explore or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
But I will use...
You have stick on hand.
Yay!
You tie your canoe to the bank and lead your party up the canyon. A warm stream runs along its floor, and the rocks along the edge are heavily caked with precipitated minerals of white, grey, and yellow hues. The further you advance between the narrow banks, the more desolate the scene. The vegetation struggles in youth and goes to an early death. Grey dust coats the brittle sticks of strangled saplings. You kneel over a stone furred with yellow and white crystals and scrape a sample of deposits into a small glass vial with your hunting knife. You suppose that they are nothing remarkable, though this is not your area of expertise. Finally, you snap a few photos of the scene with your box camera.
Do you want to explore further up the canyon, or do you want to return to your canoe and explore upriver?
I'm going to explore upriver.
Okay.
Paddling is a familiar rhythm now. You permit periods of rest using the outboard motor. Your determined group proceeds mile after mile towards your primary goal, Headsman's Glen. The valley is crowded by steep hills, small mountains, and rough stands of jack pines, black spruces, and balsam firs. Following Charlie's advice, your party sets up a semi-permanent camp, giving access to fishing and game, as well as some refuge should the local people prove hostile. In the days that follow, your party makes periodic excursions, seeking evidence of human inhabitants. It begins to look like you will be disappointed. Following another day of fruitless exploration along the floor of the valley, your party fixes a hearty supper of stone-baked biscuits, jerky, and beans. Gnats and mosquitoes swarm close, but the smoke from your fire drives the worst of the pests away. While you eat, you notice Charlie has withdrawn from the group. You attempt to include her by asking if she has any campfire songs or hair-raising stories. "It is bad luck to speak of such things," she grunts. "The woods do not like to be mocked." She gets to her feet and scans the perimeter of the camp, sniffing the air. You raise an eyebrow. "Moose," she says, before you can frame your question. "It is nothing. It is time we went to bed." You draw in a deep breath, scenting nothing but the food, the smoke, and the fresh odor of the river. Nevertheless, Charlie's manner has affected the party's mood, and they are ready to call it a day.
Do you want to take the first watch yourself, or trust Bernard to take the first watch?
I'm going to choose for Bernard to take the first.
Leaving Bernard Epstein on watch, your party turns in, each to their own small tent. You throw your eider-down roll over a mat of branches and cover it with a sheet. Yawning, you take a last look outside. The camp is bedded down and everything is in its place. That night you dream of walking naked across a snowfield. Your shiver becomes more pronounced with every step you take. When you wake in your sleeping roll, you realize the temperature, at least, is no dream. Frigid branches crack outside, tossed by frosty gusts. But you hear something else, a breathy, chilling voice on the wind. It whispers with two clear syllables, like ancient wilderness given speech. Stay. You tell yourself it is only one of your companions calling the graduate student, but it comes again, and you know it is not an earthly sound. Stay. You rise, throw on your jacket, and seize your weapon. As you lift the tent flap, you see Bernard at the edge of the camp, staring into the wood. He gives an unintelligible shout and darts into the blackness of the encroaching trees.
Ooh. Now, are you going to run after your student, or are you going to wake the rest of the party first?
Well, first of all, I'm going to be the smart one and wake everyone up. Because maybe there'll be a choice later, then we'll go all and find them.
That, I think, is a sensible option. Let's see what happens then, shall we?
Yes.
You rouse Charlie, Norman, and Sylvia. As they yawn and blink, you tell them what has happened and demand their help. "No," Charlie grabs you. "We must not seek the boy. He has heard the call of the great Windwalker. He is lost to you. We must flee."
Oh, you know what? I was not expecting something like that quite so soon in
No,
this
I
adventure.
wouldn't either.
Do you insist on pursuing Bernard? Or do you take Charlie's advice?
I'm going to take Charlie's advice because, it seems like she does more.
I take it you didn't like Bernard very much.
No. He didn't do well in class.
Charlie works the motor, and the rest of your group pitch in paddles. You spend a peaceful first day returning downriver. The next day out, a downpour turns the water savage, whisking you around a cliff-bound bend and down a mile-long sequence of rapids.
Here we go again. Let's have a pilot boat roll.
Okay. And didn't you say I had...
You've got 30% in this.
Oh! Let's do it up there. Come on. 19.
Ooh. Well, that's better than a heart. Well, no, it's not quite a heart, sorry. Yeah. Not
Yay.
quite a heart. It's still a success, though.
Yay.
And that's all that matters here.
Your party's boaters will pull you through without mishap.
Now, this feels like it's just being nasty for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Because now you have to make a luck roll.
Oh, my last luck roll was bad. Okay, let's go for it. 51, it passed.
It's time to decide the course of your expedition. Fort MacDonald lies within your reach. You may go there to end your experience in this region. If you still have the appetite for exploration, you may take a short side trip or even strike back out into the depths of the valley.
Do you want to head back to Fort MacDonald, or do you want to do a side trip? Or, I mean, you've still got 3 members of your party. You could return into the wilds.
I'll turn into a wild.
Okay.
We lost only one. It's fine. Only one. So far.
Every field trip is a rare opportunity that must be fought for. Miskatonic is a wonderful institution, but the discoveries that change the known world are made here, on its fringes, through painstaking and dangerous exploration. You cannot give up yet. When you announce your intent to defect the party, Charlie stares at you like you have lost your mind. It is madness to return to that evil place. I will not do so.
Seems like your guide is not happy with what you're doing. You can give up on the idea and return to civilization. Or you can remind Charlie of who is paying her when the trip is over.
Let's remind her who is, paying her. I'm the one paying you here. I'm not giving up. I want to explore this.
I think that's a perfectly valid thing. Yeah, let's go for it.
Your threat impresses Charlie. Rather than end up with nothing for her efforts, she sneaks off that night during her watch, taking the canoe and a share of the supplies as payment. Norma and Sylvia cannot meet your eyes for a few hours.
Oh dear. You've lost your guide, and they've left with a large chunk of your supplies. That's not cool, dude.
That's not cool.
Do you start back up river with your students, take a circuitous route back towards the fort, keeping an eye out for new discoveries, or head directly for Fort MacDonald?
We lost one more, and we're going to go up to, what was it called?
Well, the fort's basically the place you started from.
Yeah. Let's go there.
You just want to go back.
Yeah.
You
I want to see if she left anything there.
Okay.
You pass the place of splitting water with no particular difficulty and reach the calmer waterways of the West Branch. The foraging is ample now, and you recover strength as you draw near Fort MacDonald. After so many days on the river and nights in the woods, it feels strange to sit in a stifling room and answer questions about your conduct.
If you have lost any members of your party or have confirmed their deaths, multiply the number of such losses by 15. Oh, cool. That's the thing, you only technically lost one. The other one buggered off.
Yeah. And now she's not getting any money.
Well, your liability score is currently 30.
Okay.
So basically, you're making a roll on a 30% score, but we don't know which way is good, which way is bad.
Okay, let's go for it. 40.
So that's higher.
This game's evil.
When your report of your party's misfortunes is analysed by the Canadian authorities, they absolve you of any wrongdoing or neglect. You must decide what to announce as the primary result of your explorations into the valley. The other discoveries can wait. Even before arriving back in Arkham, you know your lack of hard evidence will undermine your credibility. The verdict of the Canadian authorities counts in your favour, but the parents of your students rise up in arms and force a thorough review of your case. They impute that you are an incompetent crank willing to risk innocent lives in the pursuit of off-the-wall theories. Your standing in the scientific community is imperiled.
But okay. It looks like you're going to have to defend your professional record.
I will do that. I will.
You haven't got a choice. You have to. You have to
Okay.
make an anthropology roll, which means 40.
Okay.
You have to make a roll on your 40.
Okay, let's go for the... What? Dropped it. Can I use my luck? 'Cause that...
Yes, you
Yay.
can spend luck, but how much?
60.
You got 60. That doesn't exactly 60.
Yeah.
In that case, you'd have to spend 20 luck
Yeah, I'll
to
do
make
it.
that a pass.
I'll do it.
Okay.
The Board of Inquiry dismisses the charges against you. You settle back into the academic community. Although your expedition has failed to produce any hard evidence, your reputation is such that Miskatonic University doesn't hold it against you. However, as the Great Depression sets in, you find it more difficult to fund new projects. The bizarre stories you have to tell of the North Hainan are greeted with enthusiasm by sensationalist press, but skepticism by your colleagues. As things go, your career manages to survive the experience. The Nadelman expedition is over. The end.
Nice.
And I must say, this is probably the most boring point at which I've ever had to say. Congratulations, you've completed the story.
Oh my god.
That is going to be one of the most boring ways to end a Call of Cthulhu adventure. You lose a student and then say, no, I'm going to notepad on this. You just noped out of an adventure. And you did so successfully, which is the most surprising part.
Okay.
Well, congratulations, Morgana. You survived this one.
And I will say sorry to people who are listening to this. And we will put a sad emoji when we do this. Yes. And put a sad emoji.
Let's just hope our next adventure is a bit more exciting.
Yes.
Well, at the end of this thoroughly academic and entirely boring situation, I have been your keeper.
I have been your player.
And we will say thank you for listening and hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this week's descent into tabletop madness. If you'd like to go deeper and darker, you can find us over on Patreon. There, we've shared exclusive adventures that never made it into the main feed, bonus episodes for those that want more Grim Tales between sessions, and even Patreon-only player games where you can step into the stage yourself. The road is long, the night is cold, and every companion helps us walk a little further. So check out the Patreon, join us in the dark. Until next time, keep your lanterns close and your wits closer.